anything you want to communicate, please do make use of the chat box. Just put it there. We're going to see it from here, and we'll definitely attend to it. Just make sure you go there, punch it into the message box. We're going to see it, then we'll attend to you. Now, for you that is online, I want to plead with you that while we go on what we do, help us to make sure that while the paper presentation is on, your mics remain muted. Help us let your mics remain muted. Two, in case you have to move around to live where you are presently to somewhere else, help us make sure that your video is put off. I always say this because of my experience. I don't want you to show us where we don't want to go. Don't carry us to where we don't want to go. So go alone and come back alone. Now, the reason being that we don't want you to distract people, especially those that will be watching while you are watching also, to not see what you are displaying, especially what you wouldn't know that you are displaying. Because sometimes you are carried away with the lecture or what is happening here. You are watching, you wouldn't know that you are exposing some internal things that are supposed to remain internal. So what is internal, let it remain internal, and don't let it become external. I've coded it, and I'm sure you got me right. Okay. Secondly, in case you have to, of course, I've said your mic should remain muted, meaning that we shouldn't be hearing sounds from your end here. The same thing when you want to ask questions, don't unmute until you're asked to unmute. Please don't unmute until you're asked to unmute. Thank you. And those of us on site, all right. Let me start by saying that you are likely to want to have a call come through to your phones. Please, let's start by saying all phones on silence. All phones on silence. Please don't put it in vibration. I didn't say vibration. Please put it on silence. Don't let it even beep. The reason being that I am sure it's not everybody here that is here today that know his or her health status. So please don't put it on vibration so that your blood will not vibrate and go up. Please leave it as silence so that you remain as you came and go home well the way you have come. I'm not saying so because I know some phones are China, no. But when some vibrate, they can increase somebody's height. You just see yourself go up. So please don't let us do that. Let's put the phones on silence. Then in case you must answer call, maybe you can see your phone is showing light or something, kindly excuse yourself. Consider where you are seated. If to your left is the shorter distance, go to the left. If to your right is a shorter distance, you go to your right. The only thing I want us to do is that don't cross the front of the projector. Then don't move crossing the path of the facilitator. Don't cross the path of the facilitator. Don't cross the front of the projector. The reason being that for the facilitator, in case the person is here, you should know that you have to wait for that person to move away so that you can move out. If you must move out, and not to cause accidents on the aisles. That would not be fair enough. That is not professional enough. So let's do it the way it should be. Then also, if you have questions, thank God that you are physically here. You have your notes in your bags. Please put down whatever questions so that when we get to question time, you can ask. Of course, I know that the facilitator for today will give you room to ask questions in the course of the class. The person, I was smart enough there to not disclose. The person love to hear from the audience. I'm trying to code it seriously. Trying to hear from the audience. All right. And it's lovely, whichever way it's going to go, but please Have it down there. And in case you are given opportunity to speak, help me by helping you to make sure that you go straight to point. All right. Then, if you must go to use the ladies, the gents, toilet, loo, whatever name you call it, please, the same way, don't cross paths. If you are closer to your right, just excuse yourself and move out through the door you came in through. You go to your left, the next door by the left, there are multiple rooms there to help yourself. So please, you do that nicely and come back. I want to plead with you, while this program is on, I wouldn't support anybody going out to snap pictures. We are professionals. We should remain one. It can't be why she's presenting. Oh, okay. It can't be that while something is going on here, you are found there snapping pictures. That is not professional enough. That is not. So I want to plead with you. Calm down. You have all the time. The gang will still be with you till you are ready to leave here. So you snap as much as you want to snap. So please, and for our audience, I call you family support. Please help me celebrate these people behind here. Celebrate them. Some of them, you beg them to come with you. Am I correct? Some of them begged you, please, and you are here with them. Good to have you. Well, you heard me. Kindly help us make sure your phones also are on silence, and then you help me where the loo or gents toilet, whatever it is, where you can make use of it. Thank you very much. And at the appropriate time, we'll let you know when you can snap with them inside here. When we're doing presentations and all that, we'll tell you when you can join them, and you do that. All right. On this note, I'm going to do a quick one. It's going to be a quick one. You're going to use the mic and pass it as fast as possible. What is that? You're going to do a general introduction. While you do that, you're going to tell us online. We're going to do yours later, so that when we're doing the presentation of awards, we'll do that at the same time. But for here, let's do this now to save time. Okay? You're going to tell us your name. You tell us what you do and where you do it. What you do means your designation, who you are in your office. Then you tell us the office, that means the name of the company and where your company is. Your name, your designation, your company name, then where you are located. Is that okay? So now we are going to run these two together, then we'll run that two together. So what I'm going to do, I'll give you mine, you run it at a stretch, you run it this way, you run it back, you run it like that. You just stand up quickly, you tell us your name. Now please put these forms back. We don't need these forms now. Keep the forms I'm saying back. Keep them back. Don't worry. We'll tell you when we need them, so that your hands can be free. Please. Thank you. All right. On this note, I'll start with you, sir. You tell us your name, your designation, the office or company represent, of where you work, then tell us where you're located. Thank you very much. Let's run fast. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, those audience. My name is Emmanuel Eme. I serve as Director of Academics, God Leadership Center. It's a global organization. I'm also the lead consultant of Abinem HR Consulting Company here in Lagos. Thank you.
Good morning, audience. I'm Honorable Mrs. Foluke Adedeji, CEO, Follow Treasure and Sons Nigeria Limited, situated in Ondo City. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Adebuke Abidemi is the name, proprietor, Puntupel Educational Services Limited here in Lagos.
Thank you. Please, let's use the mic well so that we can hear you well.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. Lale Alfred. I'm the risk analyst of computer accounting technology here in Lagos.
Applause, please. Applause, please. As I said, your hands will be free.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
I am Faith Adu. I'm from Petro Energy Gas Plant of Vade Delta State. I am the administrative officer in charge.
Thank you.
Good morning, esteemed colleagues. My name is Kehinde Kanye. I'm the head of HR for Ocean Marine Solutions. Ocean Marine Solutions headquarters is based in Port Harcourt, but we have offices in Lagos, Warri, Abuja, and I work in Lagos office.
All right, thank you. Applause, please. Applause. Celebrate, please.
All protocol observed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ishima Estabaro. I'm working with Ministry of Defense, Principal Staff Admin Officer.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir and ma'am. Adebi Tolulope Esther from Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. I am Assistant Chief Admin Officer.
All right, thank you. Celebrator, please. Don't let me be asking for it. It's a good size. Those are the back. What's happening? Be a part of this party.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Onyedamola Oshiali. I'm the GM Personnel and Admin for Field Offshore Design Engineering Limited here in Lagos. Thank you.
Applause for her, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Omotosho Eunice. I'm a business owner located in Ikorodu. The name is the Unique Toll Services Limited.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick Akimbino. I work with Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company as a customer support officer in Ibadan.
Thank you. For those who clapping, thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ajose Moses. I'm a legal practitioner, the head of Chambers, Shuri and Associates, Lagos.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pastor Elvis Roje. I'm a zonal pastor with Living Faith Church based in Port Harcourt.
Celebrating, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ojo Francis Omotosho, a retired director from Mondo State Ministry of Education and CEO Elizatos Nigeria Enterprises Limited.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm HRH Dr. Halimat Adenike Joshua. I am the MD CEO, Harlem's Integrated Services Limited, a dredging and a construction company. And I'm also the founder of Queen Adenike Joshua Foundation. And we have offices here in Lagos, Abuja, and Delta State. Thank you.
Your Majesty, you're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yusuf Olatunji Olaigbade, CEO, Tilewa Construction Nigeria Limited, situated here in Lagos, and supervisor for Works and Housing, Lagos Island Local Government here in Lagos.
Celebrating, please. Celebrating, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Momoni Olakulekwam, Deputy Director of Procurement, Local Government Service Commission, Ikeja here.
Applause for him.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oyewole Hannah, lead HR consultant for Willowpad Consulting and Assistant Registrar, Covenant University. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Mrs. Ngozi Henrietta Nduku. I work with National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion as the Chief Administrative Officer and the Southwest Zonal Officer in Lagos.
Congratulations. Good to have you around.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nathan Grace. I work with the Radiographer Registration Board of Nigeria here in Lagos as Chief Administrator.
Thank you.
Good morning, professional colleagues. My name is Sinclair Ebisina Sandra, an assistant manager in the human resources, and I work with Niger Development Commission, NDDC Port Harcourt. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Onyakin Lade. I'm the Chief of Staff of Bond Group and situated here in Lagos. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Daisy Osunde. I work a manager with Edo Broadcasting Service, Edo State.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Adekunle Adedoye. I work with Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, as Assistant Chief Administrative Officer. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Atinuka Abidemi Odedino. I'm Chief Admin Officer in Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Akitsude Elizabeth Olutayo Damilola. I work with Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta, as Assistant Chief Admin Officer. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Rebecca Adesola Odedino. I'm working with Federal Medical Center, Abeokuta. I'm the Assistant Director of Administration.
Good morning, everybody. I am Adedapo Ademikora Adefolami, Assistant Director of Hospital Services, University College Hospital, Ibadan.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Abiodun Doris, an Assistant Director of Admin, Human Resource Department, University College Hospital, Ibadan.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olaolu Alonge, Assistant Director, Admin, Nigerian Television Authority, Lagos.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hafolabi Sherifa Abolandi. I work with Nigerian Television Authority as Principal Admin Officer. Thank you.
Good morning, professional colleagues. My name is Blessing Peter Ogede. I work with United Bank for Africa PLC. I'm currently the branch manager in Ijora Business Office. Thank you.
All right, good to have you. You're the last person, please. Yeah, so I can follow well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Namonde. I work as the Property and Project Manager at Sophia Group Nigeria, Lagos.
You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Ismail Ali. I work with Boa Foods, Lasuko, Lafiaji, Kwara State. I'm the head of the admin at the project site.
Welcome, sir. Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Georgina Uzo. I'm the Regional Manager, Paga West Region. We have offices in Lagos and across the Federation. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Posede Kikyo. I work with the White Crown Limited, Lagos Island, Admin Officer and Secretary.
Welcome on board.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pauline Oloche. I work with Seekins Nigeria as the Manager, Digital Marketing Stroke Innovation Administrator.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adi Sumbo Williams. I'm the Regional Head for Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, Learning and Development, and also Talent Management, working for Olam Agri, based out of Lagos here. I'm happy to be here. Congratulations to everyone.
Madam, don't take my job now.
Good morning, everyone. I am Leke Oshiemi. I'm the Managing Director, Lead Consultant at Recruit Consulting, based in Lagos here. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Yemi Solumiwa, founder of 2FC Consulting 3D Digital Innovation Solution Limited, and also I'm the technical head and administrator for Startup Person View under Common Technology, managing the West Africa. Thank you.
All right. Celebrate him, please. Celebrate him, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ohimaime O. Julius. I'm the Regional Admin Officer, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Region 31 Headquarters at Abuja, Egbeda.
All right. Celebrate him. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olumiyefa Oluwatomini. I'm the Senior Admin Officer, Lagos Province 84 of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Adiola Odishola. I work with the Redeemed Christian Church of God, an administrative officer in Lagos, Lagos Province 108, Meron, Lagos.
All right. Good to have you.
Good morning, all.
My name is Shodi Amorenyi Keji Oluwatoyin.
Okay.
I work with RCCG Redeemed Christian Church of God. I'm a principal admin officer, Lagos 120, Ishefun, Lagos. Thank you.
I comment my reserve.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yemisi Ajibulu. I'm the head of HR and admin for Petroli Energy Marketing and Supply Limited, located in Lagos here. And I'm also a director at Front Row Express Services Limited into HR consulting, logistics, and procurement. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Olitobolu Atobi. I'm the head of technical Jumola Insurance Brokers located here in Lagos. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdullah Nurawali. I'm a Deputy Manager, Human Resource Management in NNPC Austrian Investment Management here in Lagos. Thank you.
Too much of oil. All right, we come to the right side now. Just follow suit.
Good afternoon, colleague.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Okay, sorry. Good morning,
thank you,
professional colleague. My name is Magaji Mudashir. I'm the Senior Human Resources Officer, Prisma Packaging Limited, OTA.
OTA. You are welcome, sir.
Good morning, fellow professionals.
Good morning,
my name is Guri Patience. I work with Independent National Electoral Commission as an Assistant Electoral Officer, Rivers.
Rivers.
Good morning, y'all. My name is Anna Didamaka Seria. I work with First Bank of Nigeria Limited as a head cash.
Head cash.
Head cash.
Rivers is beside head cash. Can say how the election can be supported.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chimo Ada. I work with Rainbow Construction Company, Stroke Bridge Gap Consults. I work as administrative staff.
Next person. Thank you. You're welcome. Applause, please. Let's do them, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alice Oke. I work with Rich Bank Group of Companies as the admin and HR officer and the team lead for Lagos Zone. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Oh, ma. Welcome, ma.
Good morning, everyone.
You're welcome.
Studying on existing protocol, my name is Israel Ajibola. I own a successful brand called Admiral Visuals, and I work as an ambassador for Flagvest here in Lagos. Then I serve as Director of Communications for SGGS Advocate Network.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zamora Victor Anu Moses. I'm a freelancer and I'm also as well a graphic designer.
You're welcome.
Good morning. My name is Christian Moses. I'm the manager of Goodman Shopping Center and also an e-commerce trader with Jumia and Konka, Nigeria.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Esther Peter Odo. I work with Petroli Energy Marketing and Supply Limited as the Human Resources and Admin Assistant. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tony Ebitaye Juliet. I work with NDDC Port Harcourt, and I'm an HR officer. Thank
you. You're welcome. Celebrate her, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aisha Obemundia. I am a HR officer at Vital Products PLC here in Lagos.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kayode Oyedele. I am an associate consultant with Product Resources Lagos.
All right, you're right. Thank you. Good to have you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Olajide Adepeju Aderoke. I work with Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, Abeokuta, as a senior administrative officer.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ibukun Oyewale. I am an administrator with RCCG.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shehu Taiwo. I work with 247 Travels, and I'm the HR manager.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ukazim Favor Asia. I'm the HR generalist at New Central Television here in Lagos.
All right. Let me give me.
Good morning, distinguished professionals. My name's Emiola Abiola Babatunde. I'm the senior lecturer and the chief executive for African Development Management and Training Institute in Pretoria, South Africa. Nice to be here.
You're welcome.
Good morning, distinguished colleagues. Olojede Moses Tunde is my name. The head HR Technology Incubation Center, Benin City, under National Board for Technology Incubation, Benin City. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emmanuel Bilabili, MD, Latedric Nigerian Limited, and also work as HRO specialist with Maxim Oil and Gas.
So, have you done rapping before? Okay, please, applause for yourselves, please. Applause for yourselves. All right, we're going to go straight to the next thing. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, I'm going to just run through sometimes. Elisha Benjamin, I can see you. Anthony Timipade, I can see you. Faith, I can see you. Onoigo, I can see you. I'm going to see more of you very soon, so I'll call your name as I see you on the screen. All right, permit me to welcome, just to make sure that we have this whole balanced. I'm going to deliberately invite to serve as a representative on this table to join us. Permit me as I welcome Adedeji Foluke Omowumi. Where is that place? Celebrate up for me, please. Please move to this place. Thank you very much. Move to this place. Don't worry, that is how movements will start happening. All right. Let's quickly, in the same vein, let's have Momoni Olakunle Kwam. Am I correct? Celebrating for me, please. Celebrating for me as it comes to the table. All right. I go straight to my. I need some strength to do this. How many of you had a pre-induction yesterday? You were part of the pre-induction yesterday. Do you have a love offering for the person today? No, that means you didn't enjoy yourself now. You did. Still the chorus. We did. Allow me to finish saying before you answer now. They didn't allow me to finish it. We did. All right, this morning, we have the singular honor to have with us physically the honorable woman that you had in your pre-induction yesterday night. Will be coming here. She's, for a good number of sessions, she's been the the past president of NIPAD, that is a Nigerian Institute of Training and Development. She's in there about 2 tenures, and now she's out of there as president, but she's serving. Permit me, she's a doctoral fellow of this great institute, and I honor her greatly. You cannot honor her as much as I do. I cherish her like egg. She's too precious to me. Even my wife knows that she's precious to me. We talk about her at home seriously. She has impacted so many. And one thing I love about her is that I saw the passion I have, I saw it in her. So I said, by the time I get to her age, my own passion will have doubled that passion. So, yes, so my own will now be passion square. So today permits me as a celebrate and welcome Mrs. Abike Ayade Igbeyi. Please be upstanding and celebrate her for me. Yes. I know that. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. You may please have your seat. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, ma. You may please have your seat, ma. Yes, yes. I've not finished, ma. I've not finished. Permits me to say that, to just retain, because some of you entered while I've done that. Please, your phones on silence. If you have questions, note them. She may ask you to raise questions. There is question time, blessing time. Let me hint you. When you have question time, It's blessing time. Me, I will collect the offering. She collect the blessing. Me, I collect the offering. Okay, at least I have what bank again? Okay, please, a Toyota V6 Highlander KJA 547EL, dark blue color. Please, your glasses are down. Please go and wind up. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so please, we run straight into this. Permit me as I welcome to the microphone now for the paper presentation. Celebrate Madam for me once again. Celebrate her for me.
As you said, Madam knows, so we can pose. I'm not satisfied. I'm here. Huh? Don't worry.
Mama knows.
I know. Mama knows
that.
I
have a big mama.
Yes, I'm Mama. I'm not side hand.
Wait.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. I'm always delighted when I see people who are yearning and hungry for knowledge. And it's always a delight to share experience. I don't know much, but I'll share my experience with you. So you're welcome to the Great Institute. You are here together. We share knowledge. We'll enjoy. So fasten your seatbelt as you go on the roller coaster. We are not going straight into the topic, but we are going to something that will tantalize you. I'm not for tantalizer, but I'm going to tantalize you. So let's move on. Before we go into that topic after this, I love the way that when some of us introduce ourselves, like, good morning, professional colleagues. Good morning, friends. Good morning, this. When somebody said good afternoon, maybe it's in Dubai. Because we're still in morning here. Then only about 2 people I noticed said, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to address that this morning. So you're going to, and I heard somebody say, I am the head of diversity, equity, and inclusion, OLAMS. Did I get that right? OLAMS, yes, I love that. So you are going to pay me something when we're done with the topic this morning. So let's quickly go on. As HR, we deal with people, we relate with people, we manage people, and what do we do? So let's quickly look at this. What do you see? What is that? First, the first question is, what is Homo sapien? Question time, blessing time, experience sharing, more blessing. Before we go to answer that question, let me quickly reassure us that all answers are correct, please. This is adult class, okay? No nonsense answer, no nonsense question. Remove the none and leave the sense for us. We make sense out of it. Because in adult class, Baba, no, they fail. You know why? When I was growing up, I didn't say when I was young, because I'm still young. I just celebrated 19th anniversary of my 21st birthday. Don't calculate. When I was growing up, my father told me, or told us, that he came first. All fathers did. And good enough, when he died, we saw his report cards. My father did not come last. He came first on some few occasions. So we later on got to the conclusion that all fathers came first. Whose father came last? So we now said, Baba, no, they fail. All answers are correct. So please feel free to ask me any question. Share your experience with me, because I always say, question time, blessing time. Experience sharing, more blessing. So when I ask, please respond. That will show me that you are with us. And those who are online, we are not forgetting you. We're going to refer to you and ask you to answer some questions. But if you waste time, we will throw it to the house here. So now, let's quickly, what's up? What I showed before, I said, the first question, Homo sapien, what is that? Memory lane, Homo sapien. Yes, thank you.
Human.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Human. That's the biological name for human beings. Okay. And we're waiting for you, sir, because there is another question on that. What we have showed. I want to ask so that when it comes on, how many faces can you see on that figure, the figure that we are going to project shortly? That. How many faces? How many faces? Eh? How many faces? 3, correct. How many faces? 3, correct. How many faces? 2. 2 faces, DB are correct. How many faces? Okay, I've got 2, 3, but I'll tell you there are 4. Yeah, wow. Use the nose to check how many noses if you have to put S with the nose. 1 is here. That is another. That is another. And this is an evolving phase. Okay, as HR, you see, there'll be perception. People will tell you this is how it is, but do you see it in another form? The next question, do you agree? Some people are just looking and say, this woman is saying, oh, the more you look, the less you see. No, it's not America Wonder. It's 4. Even management, whatever we learn today will change tomorrow. The era of AI. Okay, don't be afraid of AI. I'm not. Because if we have to work with AI, some of us will learn how to operate the AI, to maintain the AI. So what is it? We go for training and know how to manage AI. So there is no problem. Somewhere there was one research conducted about a couple of years ago by Ernest Young. They said about 87 million jobs will be lost, but 90 something million will be whatever. I can't remember. I will have brought it. But anyway, that will be lost due to AI, but AI will also generate more jobs. So why are we afraid? Let's not be afraid. HRS encourage people. So the next one is what? People are like a regular figure. What figure? What is this? Back to school, back to school, back to school. Amoeba. Yes, you are very correct. So people are like that, a regular figure. And when you are going to relate with them, you have to know what they are made of. So some are big, others are small. Some are versatile, colorful, and full of imagination. These are the people that we meet there. So inside of that, you see lots and lots of people, lots and lots of shapes and sizes. Online, we are with you. Don't worry. We know you are there. So some suit each other, so they gel. They're able to work well. You just know, I don't know why I like you. I don't know why we just seem to gel. Some are hard and obstinate. What do? They are there. Immediately you want to, they're always uptight. Hard and obstinate, what do you do to them? While some are soft and palleable, they go around, they do what you want them to do, they achieve what the organization wants them to achieve. Others are much simpler. So others do not, even if they are like, they hurt and offend each other. When we look alike, but whatever it is, I just don't like you. You remind me of somebody I love to hate. So that is how but humanity is made up of a great variety of figures which form a pattern. In that pattern, you can see the fishtail, you can see the cucumber, you can see the onions and all. So humanity is made up of this. And so the more we identify and relate with these people, the better it is the workplace will be for all of us. Some become polished like pebbles on the beach. When they come in, anyhow, Jaga, I'll give you a story. Before I retired, there was this guy, the father died, and in my organization, then they had compassion, they brought in the son. The son grew up in that area. I don't want to say the area will come in. Yami alaye. So somewhere along the line, I say, pipe down, boy. I said, area, pipe down. So somehow, eventually, this boy that we thought was not going to be responsible, he got married, he had children, and today he's even a household now somewhere in Moe. So he became polished because he was brought out from wherever. And if we had thrown him away then, what will have happened? So some are bold, they challenge your authority. Even as a child, they will tell you, okay, if you sack me, they will not join my money to your salary now. So some are bureaucrats. What do? They toe the line. If you want to say due process, they say, just, okay, I don't want to go to jail. Due process. Okay. Others are calling, we are getting to their season now. But in December, during Salah, they will say, oh, okay, Christmas is coming. Well done. Why? Because we are going into appraisal season. So they will now want to warm their way. Okay, I hope that petrol matter did not affect you. I have an uncle that has filling station. When you run short, let me know. They are calling. They know because of the halo effect that you have when they are appraising them. Others know their limitation and they keep on the safe side. Those ones, where you put them, just give them what they want to do. They don't go beyond that. Others ignore their limitations and they do what they lead their own lives. So these are others ignore their limitation and live their own lives. What do they do? These are what the people who call the people that are all over the place. What do you call them when we were growing up? I remember Peter. What did you say, ma? Yes, master of none. Then yes, there are also there's a man about town. I'll remember their name later. But if you all manage to conform, it will be a good place for us to all work in. And we remain the individuals that we need to relate with in the workplace, within the space where everyone is working and ensuring that the goals, the next, my presentation. So it will now be all of us working together for the goal of the organization. So now let's look at this. The topic that we're going to talk about this morning, the role of HR in diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Okay, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And who are the people that are involved? Human beings, the people that we manage in the workplace. Okay, so how do we manage them? How do we do that? I've been introduced earlier, but I want to draw attention to this and that. I shook the immediate past vice president in this hand. Since that time, 2017, I have not washed the hand. So this morning, I'm sharing that with us. So take the anointing, as they always say. Not you receive, because it may not be the immediate past vice president. Something greater is coming after now. So let's move on. So why is this topic so hot? Why is this topic so hot? It's hot because we have people, we have individuals in the workplace that are sympathizers of LGBTQ++. We have 4 generations in the workplace: the X, the Gen X, the Gen Z, the Millennial, and the Alpha. Some baby boomers that have managed to work on their age are still in the workplace, because when I was leaving, some people, they were already losing their teeth, but they said I should go first because I clocked 60 before them. But looking at them, you will know that they are older than, I didn't say it, but whatever it was, I said, if I'm older than you, then call me auntie. But they are still there. But some of them have left. So the baby boomers are leaving gradually, they are exiting the place. So what we are saying is that, how do you manage these individuals? Everybody keeps talking about Gen Zs, but they're there. The office will outlive the worker. We are going to leave the office for them. So how do we manage them? So that is why diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging is very important, so that we're able to manage them. And we are going to give a lot of examples. So what are we going to talk about? The concept of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Then we're going to talk about the opportunities of embracing diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the workplace. We need to put the opportunities in there. What we call unconscious bias. You don't know that it is in there, or somewhere along the line. You just show it. I say, okay, HR, what did I do? I don't know. So let's look at it. Unconscious bias, the barriers that can make us not to be able to embrace the diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Then diversity, inclusion, and belonging initiative strategies and best practices, what they're doing out there. We're going to get Madam Olam to give us something. Okay, thank God she's here. Then we'll now also discuss. Okay, however, I want to assure us that please, if you have any question, break into my transmission, even those who are online, type whatever you want, send, they will read it to me and we'll answer you. Yesterday, we suspended or we put in the parking bay 2 questions. I hope those people will bring the questions and we'll be able to discuss here. So let's quickly look at this. In the midst of the chaos, the world is going through a lot of changes, and people talk about the Industrial Revolution, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are now in the midst of the chaos. So what do? There's also an opportunity in the midst of this diversity, equity, and inclusion. I need to also bring us to the fact that diversity is a natural thing, very natural. The only thing that we fight or we struggle to go into is what? Inclusion. Let's go back to the Garden of Eden when God created Adam. Gender. Remember? Gender. 2, he put a deep sleep and removed woman from here. We didn't know how long the sleep was. That brought about what? Age difference. Okay? So you see, gender and age has been there. And the children came. Generation. So what are we talking about? How do we now manage gender, age, and generation? That is that. We have not brought in some other things. So let's quickly move that in the midst of all this, there is opportunity. So we need to look at it. We now live in an era of accelerating change. And we all know that what change is the only thing that is constant. As we step out of here today, you become a fellow, associate, member, doctoral fellow, whatever that you have come to achieve here. There's a new world out there. Change. And that is what we need to get. So, an era of accelerating change, a landscape in which social, cultural, and technological progress is increasing at what? Exponentially in an ever shorter interval. What we are talking about, by the time you Google it, it has changed. Let's even forget Google. How many of us, I will go funny. Some people say it is not Chat GPT. It is called what? Chat GPT. Funny. Because ask me anything and I'll give you the answer. But somehow, the people that created Chat GPT has put a caveat that it may not be right all the time. So change is always there at each step of the way. Even if you ask ChatGPT one thing, the next question, the same question, just add something, it has changed. So it's changing regularly at a pace that we cannot even understand. So how can we get a diverse group to buy into a common vision that this is what the organization wants, and we have different generations? How do you as HR convince them that we are all in the same boat together and we need to survive? So what do we do? Let's quickly look at this. A diverse workforce will allow us different types of viewpoints, foresee challenges, take advantages of new opportunities, identify new trends, then understand what products and marketing strategies are out there. Gone are the days of the 4 Ps of marketing or whatever. People are not using that anymore. Before you say Jack Robinson, they've Googled it. As I'm even talking now, some people are Googling or looking at their ChatGPT to see whether what she's saying is right. So it's very important. So identify new trends, then motivate staff and lead them to higher responsibility, productivity, and lower absenteeism. If you don't know your staff, if you don't know the team leads, if you don't know those who are going to manage the organization, you just be working solo. As we said yesterday, if you look behind or you look back, see those who are following you. And in HR, our job is such that I call us the middle belt. The middle belt in the sense that when you are facing management, you are back in the workforce. And if you are back in the workforce, you are facing management. And most of us find ourselves in the C-suite or in the boardroom where policies are being churned out. How well are those policies being executed in the workplace? So we need to. Hence, an inclusive environment that values what diversity will create stronger organizations that are more likely to remain successful. We always say that, why is it that the Nigerian organization made in Nigeria, not those ones that came in, like, let's talk about indigenous. Thank you for the English. Thank you so much, sir. Indigenous organizations, why are they not surviving? So many of them have died before 50. They're dead. Some cannot even remember. There was one place I was asking, how many of us remember the Abiola bread? I can't even remember the name. Some people say, which Abiola bread? Was there any Abiola bread? I said, yes, there was Concord, inside Concord, somewhere there. I can't remember. So the Wonder Loaf, thank you. Or you know, thank you for reminding me. It's just now that you have said it that I remember. I forgot. So many people did not even remember Abiola bread, Udutola tires, Tejo Shofum, and all those type of things. Some of them. But we remember 1759. Abi, am I right? Yes. What happened? What is wrong? Okay, these are some of the things that we need to look at and see how we can manage. So let's quickly look at this. The picture shows diversity. We see all sorts of colors, faces, and all. Okay, that is diversity. Equity, you want to manage. And that is where I have issues. I know some of my fellow gender, I don't want to say ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk about that later. They will not like what I'm about to say. But when you put diversity, equity together, is equals to all these people and that human being, that face that we started with. This I want to quickly dwell on so that as HR, we'll be able to know how to manage gender, age, whatever it is that comes our way in the area of diversity. So, and that is, I will state that to a song. The song we normally sing on February 14, when we were read. Remember? Don't mind my voice or the way I'll sing it, but you get the message. It's so good loving somebody and somebody loves you back. To be loved and be loved in return is the You now go to 60-40, 70-30, 50-50 love. When you talk of equity, are you talking of 50-50? Split the middle, or 40-60, or 70-30. What I always tell people is that what I want is a win-win situation. If I'm happy with 30 and you go away with 70, I'm happy. And as far as I'm concerned, that's equity for me. Once I am happy with what I'm going away with, and we're having a win-win situation, and I'm able to deliver what you want me to deliver, that is equity with me. You know, this issue of equity and whatever started with the Beijing conference. Well, I'm sure they were even talking that some of them thought it would be 50 down the middle. Even in Nigeria, when we said government should give us, is it 35% or whatever? Are we up to that? Is it up to the 10? Please, we remember that they are recognizing us. Okay, so that is that on gender. So that is what we want. The individual is equals to equity, diversity in this. So let's quickly move on. Men of quality respect women, or women what? Equality. So let's look at it and see what we can do. So let me give you the story surrounding this. When I went for this topic, for this program on diversity, equity, and inclusion, the man that took us on this topic, he started, and he kept saying, "Good morning, ladies and gentlemen." He said, "Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. About 4 times he kept saying, he said, why is this man sounding like broken record? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. After a while, not everybody answered him. He said, why did some of you respond? He said, do you know that when you go to certain climes and you say, ladies and gentlemen, some people will say, excuse me, what makes you think that I'm a woman? What makes you think I'm a man? Please respect our person, our personality, and whatever. He said, so when we started introducing ourselves and people said, good morning, everyone. Good morning, professional colleagues. I love it. I said, these people are in spirit. So we are in the same spirit. So watch it. Wherever you go, there are some people who are sympathizers of Bobrisky story. Okay. Some people, I know some people will not smile because I'm looking at everybody's face. So some people will say, why she mentioning Bobrisky? You know, even the National Assembly said that if they catch woman to woman, man to man, 14 years back down. Okay, so he was lucky that he got 6 months. Okay, but they didn't catch him woman to man. They used another thing to frame him. But some will not take this. So what we need to do is that when we get back home, see how when you get to a gathering, you know, whether you say, I'm standing on already established protocol, that will hide whatever good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So please watch it. So we need to manage the people in the workplace and be able to understand that there is diversity, equity, and inclusion anywhere, everywhere. So what is diversity? Diversity involves the presence of differences within a given setting. Differences, and we need to manage race, ethnicity, gender, and all of this. Political, national, okay? We need to. Have you ever found yourself outside of Nigeria and you were seated in a bus or in a train and a small white child comes touching your skin and looking, checking whether the black skin, the color, will just be doing like this? What would you do? You move away or you spank his hand? You smile at him and you wonder what that child is aiming at. So what we need to do is that race, nationality, religion, whatever it is, gender is part of what we are talking about. So what we want is equity. And the equity is somebody online asking us a question? No. So equity is fair treatment and access and opportunity advancement for all individuals that are within the organization. So what we do is what? What did you say, sir? Okay. So everybody should now look at it that we are treated equally. Is it possible to even at home, we can hardly treat our children equally somehow? You say this child reminds me of my paternal grandma or whatever. So you just want to, as far as possible, not to show that you are discriminating. So it's very important. We are going to get to that word discrimination later. So what we need to do is that eliminate barriers so that you'll be able to prevent people from not participating within the group. So let's quickly look at diversity. When it comes to the workplace, there are 7 primary types of diversity we can see, and that is it. Race down to social, economic status and background. And that is where we are in Nigeria. Do you know who I am? Do you know who brought me? And HR, we need to manage that. I'll give you an example, and let me share this with us. When I was in service and we were to engage some junior staff then, there was this guy that was brought in by the chairman governing council. We were told that we were already informed that he belongs to that group. So he came in with his shirt flying because he was brought in by the chairman. And being the area manager then, we were already to say that guy is coming in. Let's watch out for the way he was going to. And true to type, he had his shirt flying. I took a look and I said, my friend, where do you think you're coming to? Or where are you coming from? Or whatever I asked him. He said, I'm here for the interview, man. I said, and you are like this? with your shirt flying. And he started, I said, my friend, go out and go and dress properly. Didn't you see others that came in before you or those you are seated with? And he said, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. He went out and he dressed properly. I didn't want him to have that feeling that, do you know who I am? So when you find yourself in such situation, someone is behaving what we call presenteeism. It's better that he stays out, that we know he's absent, than he's in the office, 30 days make a pay, okay? Oga sell, Oga does not sell. Conductor's money must to complete. So what does this do? So we are looking at that, and you see religious and spiritual beliefs. All this are the things that are affecting diversity, and they are natural. People with special needs, Nigerian, whether constitution or whatever, said we should take care of them. That is why before there was never the ramp for those in wheelchair. There was never a place where they would say that this is for people with special needs. How well are we doing that? HR, do we have space for that? Even in the federal civil service, how well are we managing that? So we need to look at it that some of these 7 types of diversity give room for us to be able to manage the people, get innovation, creativity from that. How many of us read, apart from looking at those who do TikTok content creation? There was one I read online. This child, even not one, about 2. This child is an autistic child, and is doing so well that they said, then at what point would you say a child is an autistic child, has autism? There is a spectrum, they say, but this child, very intelligent. Same thing that some of us, I'm sure we read it some years back, that an autistic child broke into the Pentagon, whatever that time. So these are some of the things. Those with special needs, do we look at them and say, keep them aside? And that is why, that's what brought about the Olympic, Paralympic. So let's look at the definite benefits of diversity in the workplace: higher innovation, better decision making, higher employee engagement. They see themselves that, yes, I belong to this, without discrimination. So all this we are going to read later, okay? Reduce employee turnover, because they believe that, yes, I am part of the system, and that is what diversity brings to us. Improve hiring results. So let's quickly look at some of the concepts. See, 6-9. Some of us, wherever we find ourselves, we look at it that I'm seeing the right thing, and the other person also is also seeing the right thing. So what do you do as HR? Those of us that listened to the presentation yesterday, leadership, and your attitude. So we need to manage them, because the way I'm looking at it is 6, to you is 9. So perception is part of what we should manage in diversity. And when we now look at it, that this is the personality in the middle. It's surrounded by the organization, external and internal. How would you manage that? And even if you put yourself in here, how would you manage these 3? Within the organization, internal politics, then the external. And some of us will always say that I will not partake in office politics. Is it possible? Question time, lesson time. I can see you shaking your head. It's not possible. Why? You have to partake like
there's decisions that has to do with top management level decision making. So if you don't partake in it, they won't remember you. You know, that's just based on my own experience.
Yes, that office politics, whatever it is, I'll come to you, ma'am. Yes, we need to partake in the office politics.
Yeah, actually, we can avoid to partake in avoid it by being diplomatic.
Exactly. You see, you have used it too well. He said.
Okay, so from my own experience, I think I would say is somewhat difficult, because sometimes you don't even know when you're involved in it. And because of our unconscious biases, we don't even find out until someone else is sort of giving us feedback.
Thank you so much. So at least with that, we know that it's somehow impossible not to partake in office politics. What I always tell people is that ride the tiger, but don't end up in the belly of the tiger. That is diplomacy. Okay, so you need to manage that and see what you can do, organizational, even see what is happening with America and Israel. They will condemn today, tomorrow they will go back. So, but Britain is what? Keeping, maybe sitting on the fence. That is organizational. Remember what happened between Nigeria and Niger Republic? They wanted to push us to war, but we have our in-laws on the other side of the divide. So you need to manage not even the international politics, but the politics within the system. Someone said, or else we'll be edged out. Okay? So let's move on. So we are still on this inclusion. As I said before, inclusion is that which we struggle to have. So what is it? You can feel welcome, respected, supported, and valued. An inclusive environment gives a sense of belonging. However, belonging, see what it talks about. Being accepted, being included, valued in a group, an organization. It makes an individual feel as part of this. But there is a caveat. Inclusion, belonging. The other side is what you call discrimination. Discrimination. I am included in the scheme of things. I feel I belong to that. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty, I'm discriminated against. And that is what the language that we use in Nigeria as we call marginalization. Okay, so we are part of it. We are included. But somewhere, something happened. So let's now bring in the word discrimination. Equity, diversity, inclusion, and discrimination. Discrimination is unequal, unfair treatment of individuals or groups. Okay, so that is where discrimination comes in. We talk of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. All of that are positive. All of them, yes, I'm part of the group or whatever. But somewhere along the line, the unconscious bias will make us to see the discrimination in it. So let's quickly look at the opportunities for embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion and belongingness in the workplace. One, it gives room for innovation and creativity. So the people will feel engaged when you give them the opportunity to be creative. And as I always say that the bottom-up approach will always give us that opportunity to use innovation and creativity. What is bottom-up approach? You know, normally this thing comes from the top to the bottom, but down there, a lot of beautiful ideas, lots of beautiful ideas. And if you don't give them the opportunity, you say, who is it? Level 4 officer, what does he have to say? Okay, wait for your turn by turn. But beautiful ideas don't kill it. I'll give you a story to support that. I used to know, did I just press something? No. I used to know one woman who brought the idea of village kitchen before Mr. Biggs went under. I met her. She said she was visiting their outlets on one or two occasions, so many of their outlets, and she realized that they had they have piles of all this confectionery, puff and all meat pie unsold. They said, what happened? Say no market, bad market. So what happened? She now went to other eateries and saw that they were selling Nigeria mother tongue food. So she came back, wrote her letter, wrote her suggestion and everything. But somewhere they said, UAC, to sell, bring me that one, like Mama Put. It's not in our culture. No, it's not in our DNA. So they started losing customers until a line manager, everybody fought for that. But somewhere along the line, they bought the idea. But she was down there. Eventually, she was promoted, maybe because of that or whatever, but they bought the idea after some years. And everybody knew that Village Kitchen made Mr. Big to stay for that length of time that they were on. Because they started selling my amala and all the veggies and everything. So it's very important that we should not forget bottom-up approach. Brilliant ideas down there, don't throw them away. So that is what we talk about in okay, I've done this. Okay, opportunities. So creativity, when we talk of that people down there can also give us a wide range of perspective and experience and ideas that we can use. Then also we attract and retain talent when we give them the opportunity. As HR, let's create that window of opportunity that people can come up to tell us what they have in mind. And that is why I love the old school method. And what is that old school method? Where we have suggestion box. Okay, not email. Let's still use that. Let people drop whatever. Okay. At times they could be faceless. At times they could be add their name if they feel it's something that the organization can benefit from. Okay. But if we don't, some of this millennia have this notion that the only way up is out. We all came in as managers, but I'm eyeing that in the not too far distant future, I should be senior manager. But see the line of people ahead of me. Am I going to kill them? No. How do I become a senior manager in this place? What's a fine girl like me doing in a place like this? I'm out. So they now look for organizations that are advertising for senior managers. So they are out. And that is why I tell the Gen Zs, the millennia, the X, that you are a rolling stone. And rolling stone do what? They gather no more. They say, let me, at least I'm not staying, I'm rolling. So some of them, a lot of them that are related, we said that by 40 years, they have retired. I said, what do you want to do after that? They say, leave that one, mommy, we will continue. So they keep it rolling. So the only way up is out. So what they want to do is that, how do you now retain such talent? How do you make them stay? Because if you look at some of them in 5 years or 10 years, they've changed jobs 3-4 times. So what do you do? How do you retain them? So as HR, we need to manage a broad spectrum of what? Job candidates. What do we do? One, look at this. How do we now retain them? You recognize them, you encourage them with whatever they want, and reward them. The aspect of reward is part of what brought about the issue of staff of the week, staff of the month, staff of the year. Okay, the reward system. It makes some of them stay. It's not all the time that it is money. Okay, there are some things that they look at. When you give me the money, when I move to the organization, they will not know that you gave me money. So give me a plaque, give me a letter to acknowledge that I've done well. So it's very important that we bring in innovation in order to recognize these people and encourage them to stay. So better decision making is part of the opportunity, because lots and lots of diverse teams will come in and give us how it is done elsewhere. So compliance with risk management. When you have a diverse group, they will tell you this is what the law says about it. Because for those of us that are in the public sector, remember, we need to manage the federal character. The federal character. So what do? Some will say, oh, that person is not qualified. I say, but that seat is empty. And he's the only person that can fill. Will he be able to do it? Just put him there, somebody with training. So what do we do? So these are some of the things. Diverse. So have that diversity. Thank God we have changed to the national anthem that I used to know. Okay, in brotherhood we stand. Do tongue made. Why do you know it better than me? Because I was singing it before they brought it back. Now, do tongue and tie may differ, in brotherhood we stand, and that is it. So they will not tell you, are you going foul of the law? So they'll be able to reduce the risk of legal issues. Question time, blessing time. What other opportunities can we get from this so that I'll not be the only one talking? Those who are online, can you type 1 or 2? I hope they have not got this. I have not sent them to them. No, so that they will not return to sender. So those online, tell me, type 1 or 2 opportunities that you can derive from embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion. Same thing on site. I don't want us to talk yet. Those who are online, is there any answer from them? Not yet. Those who are on site, do we have anything to share? Question time, blessing time, experience sharing, more blessing. Okay. Thank you. Who has the other mic? Who has the other mic? Okay, let me take it to you. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. With this kind of concept, it will improve productivity.
Yes.
And it will make people hoping that things will improve in the workplace and there will be harmony. That's a few things I can say for now.
Thank you. Very correct and right. Okay. Any other? Diversity, yes. Let's balance it.
It gives more room to improve in their knowledge and in their abilities too.
Exactly. Knowledge sharing. Knowledge sharing. Online. Anyone online?
They have sense of belonging.
Exactly. Sense of belonging, that I belong to this group and I'm not discriminated against. Any answer from any question online? Any answer? No answer. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All the answers are correct. Correct. Okay, not just. Okay, so let's move on. Other opportunities are employee feel engaged and higher morale. That if I have a voice, then that means we are all in this together. Then you foster a positive organizational culture. People will not go foul of the culture because they will think that, oh, if those who understand the culture of this organization have been there before me and they have been able to. Is that not so? Is that not so? It's so. Is that not so, man? Yes, it's so. So it's important that it will foster a positive organizational culture so that everybody we feel that we are part of this together. And let me give you an example of this. When I was in service, we had our t-shirt, and we said t-shirts must be worn on Fridays, dress down Friday. But somewhere along the line, our Muslim brothers, the Muslim faithful, because they are women too, Muslim brothers and sisters, and we're treating diversity. Our Muslim faithful came and said, Madam, please, this thing that we have started is good, but we can't be wearing our t-shirt to mosque on Friday. Can we move the t-shirt to Thursday? It's a culture. It's not something that is written down. It's something that all of us somehow just agreed to. And we said, why not? So these are some of the things that you feel that there's a culture that we can change, that will make people to feel that we are part of the system. Imagine if we were headstrong and said, no, it has to be Friday. So people will feel marginalized, alienated, discriminated against. So it's very important as HR. Let's look at what is positive within our culture and manage. Then you also enhance brand reputation. I want to call out on our Olam's doctoral fellow. I don't want to say lady now. Doctoral fellow to talk about brand reputation, because you're talking about diversity and inclusion. How well has it helped Olam? Let us share the.
Thank you very much, Ma. It's helped Olam in various aspects. We've become one of the top employers recently because of the fact that we're leveraging the diversity, equity, and inclusion in our talent acquisition, and also projecting our women. Olam is a solely manufacturing industry, and we have not too many women there. So by helping the women to grow them, to develop them, it's now positioning us as an employer of choice.
Brand reputation. Some of us know Olam for food and food manufacturing and everything, but now that area that they are now employer of choice. Because when you go to some of these manufacturing companies, you hardly get women. It's usually men. Okay, so now they are now employer of choice. They have opportunity for women to come on board. So thank you so much for that. Did anybody send us anything online? Okay, then global competitiveness. Some of our organizations in Nigeria, they say truly local but global in outlook. So that means anywhere they can operate. When I found myself on the shores of West Africa, I saw some of the banks operating very well outside of the shores of Nigeria. They are truly local, but what global in outlook, because they practice what we call the best practices that will not make them to go foul of the laws of those countries. So, and that's one of them is what embracing diversity and equity. So these are some of the areas because the market out there is diverse. So unconscious bias in decision making. What is unconscious bias? Those who are online. Unconscious bias. What is it? Who understands what unconscious bias is all about? It affects our decision making in hiring, in firing, in promotion, and all. So who understands unconscious bias? Let me tell you, there are two legs to bias, the conscious and the unconscious. So we want to talk about the unconscious bias. Yes, you have spoken before. Let somebody spark. I will come to you if somebody cannot spark. Somebody, you have spoken. Yes, sir. Unconscious bias. I will come to you.
Yes, thank you. Unconscious bias in my mind is that ability to tilt towards a preference without even knowing that that is what I'm doing.
Fantastic. Take it to my guy. My guy wants to speak now. He spoke before, let him speak now. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Unconscious bias is a situation where you are making a decision, but because the person is maybe is related to you or is your friend, so unconsciously you will be biased in that decision making. So that's the more reason most companies don't allow maybe couple or family, because when you are making a decision, you will be biased unknowingly.
Unknowingly. Thank you. That word unknowingly. You didn't know that that thing is inside of you. Is there any answer online? You will know that that thing is inside of you. But when you want to now relate to that person, you just see it manifesting. I say, I didn't know. You know, no answer from online. Same as what he said. Any other one? No. Okay, let's move the same thing. So unconscious bias in decision making is somehow like automatic because people look at you don't even know. You just find yourself doing it. They say, why did I do it? She reminds me of somebody I love to love, but somebody I love to hate. Then immediately the person comes and says, how can I help you? What do you want? Without even giving the person the opportunity to say what you want. So it's something locking inside of us unknowingly. These biases operate below the level of conscious awareness and can impact how we perceive the organization, how we work with the individual within the organization. Addressing unconscious bias for what we're talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion always has a role to play in our decision making, how we relate with the other people. So we look at some of those and see what we can do in order to manage them. Unconscious bias in decision making. One, there are some people that will say implicit association. When you see them in the workplace, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. Immediately you come into my office, I'll start listening and say, see them, the union people. I don't have to say it, but I know that who they are. So inside of me, okay, I know that that is what I'm going to. So implicit association will already give you that which is inside of you and you now manifest it. Implicit association, simple way of saying they are stereotypes, and that is they show a particular trait. The other one is microaggression. Microaggression is a subtle, unintentional discriminatory comment. You see where discrimination comes in now? Discriminatory comment that negatively impact those on the receiving end. You need to manage that as well. You don't know that is there, but immediately the person comes and say, what do you want? Instead of you to say, he said, okay, won't you even tell me good morning? I was greeting you good morning, but you didn't even answer. I said, I answered, you didn't hear. So HR, let's look at how we can bring in training on diversity, equity, and inclusion so that it will be a level playing field for those of us in the workplace. And the workplace will be easier for us to run, and people will be happy. We'll be employer of choice, like what our Olam member said. Impact on organizational culture is also, it will affect what we are talking about. It can perpetuate inequality, especially in the workplace, like the example I gave of the T-shirt. Influence on workplace decision, especially when you are talking about promotion and engagement, we're talking about hiring. If you don't have that, if you are not conscious of the fact that we need to bring in different types of people, the organization will be heterogeneous. Everybody will be thinking along the same way. Everybody will be thinking that, oh, we are pro-women, and that is what it is. And if we are pro-men, or we are there. So we need to manage this very well so that we get there in terms of hiring and promotion. Confirmation bias. What is that? You have an idea, or somebody has been brought to you, and that this person, you are sending this person to your department because he's stubborn. Okay? The person has been doing well. You never knew what happened that that person became stubborn on the other side. But they now brought him here. Give him opportunity to even perform well. And that is what industrial psychologists are called self-fulfilling prophecy. Bad you are, and bad you will remain. They have told me before that you are bad. But maybe that person did not even do anything, but because it's already inside of my mind that they brought him here for me to discipline. So the person came in and you have not even given an opportunity to do whatever he wants to do. Maybe 1 week, 2 weeks down the line, he said, they said so. They said so. That is it. That is why you are here, for us to discipline. So it's called self-fulfilling prophecy. The person has confirmed what was you were told about him. Confirmation bias. So what do we need to do? We need to now have strategies to mitigate unconscious bias. It is something that we need to wake up. It's a wake-up call for all of us to say, no, we know that it's something that is inside of us, but we need to work to ensure that it is not something that will bring us down. To reduce the impact of unconscious bias in decision-making, organization can implement various strategies such as bias training, diverse hiring panels, standardized evaluation criteria, and fostering an open culture where people can discuss and all these issues are addressed. Is it possible? HR, is it possible? Even if we are not getting the 100%, the starting point is one step forward, and let's see what we can do. So what are the barriers to diversity, equity, and inclusion? And that is what unconscious bias. What is the impact? The impact of unconscious bias can lead to discrimination, favoritism, exclusion of certain groups. 2 barriers. The second barrier is resistance to change. And what is that? What impact will it do? Resistance can slow down or completely stall those initiatives, because immediately people are saying, why are you doing it? Is it because? No, once they say, is it because, then there's story. Then the third one is lack of leadership commitment. Management and top management may, if they don't get the message right from the outset, others will not say, why are we wasting money on this? Why this training when a bag of rice is 115, 120,000? So, is it 100 something thousand? Yes. So why they can as well share that money for us now. So they will initially not buy into it. They will not see it as priority. Well, let's keep the money for 13th month. Leadership commitment. Inadequate resources. Oh, I'm sorry. Inadequate resources. Where is it? Sorry. Okay, inadequate resources. Insufficient resources can lead to poorly designed or implemented initiatives, reducing their effectiveness and sustainability. Exclusionary practices and policies. Policies that from the outset, that is coming out from the boardroom, it has excluded some people already. So those people will not be part of it, and they just feel we are not part of this system. And that is what we call discrimination. Tokenism is what, when this can lead to resentment, that small bits, like we do to the token. You know that token that we get in the bank, small, it comes out in trickles. So it can lead to resentment, lower morale, and perception that these efforts, the DEIB efforts are not genuine, that they are just giving us, testing us how we want to react and whatever. So as HR, let's manage this very well. Cultural misalignment, what will that cause? That the culture within the system is not in favor of whatever, so in favor of certain people or some of us or all of us, so it can cause friction and make it harder to embed these principles into the organization daily operations. For those of us that were online yesterday, you remember that triangle that we had. The lower run of the base of the triangle shows that the people that are doing the work. Then we also have them as what you remember the bones, the jawbone. So they are the ones that do it. So the impact on this, they are the ones, they can upturn the system. No matter the amount of money that you go to lend out there to run the system, if those people down there want to make the boat to capsize, they will do that. Ineffective communication, poor communication about DEIB initiative. If they don't communicate well, people will feel that they have hidden agenda. Then the impact of that is that when employees are not well informed or involved, they are less likely to support or participate in all this effort. Lack of measurable goals. It is quite important that we have job schedules, key result areas, and all other things that you can use to measure how people are working within the system. Then stereotyping and discrimination. When you stereotype some people, I'll give you an example of this. Sorry if there is anybody in the house or online that has people like that. I know one of these training programs that we attended, somebody got up and said, there is no way I will allow my daughter to bring in somebody with dreadlocks and say, meet my husband to be, or somebody with tattoo. I said, that's discrimination. He said, madam, it's my daughter. So I said, so that can also affect some people in the workplace. Okay? The Gen Zs, the millennials, they want to have the Rasta. They cannot be caught dead wearing suits to the office. They want to have the casual, official, casual, and all those things. So when you now look at that person and say, because I have the Rasta, sorry, we call them Rastafarian when I was dreadlocks. We call them Rastafarian when we were growing up. That's the era of Bob Marley. Okay, so but now they call it dreadlocks. Okay, so you now look at that person and say, there's no way this person can dreadlocks and be responsible. And another person now stood up and said, because of the job that they are into, they're into security. He said, there is a law. I said, are you sure? He said, that is the law that guides their job, or that consulting, whatever, security, whatever, that no way would you bring somebody with dreadlocks. No way would you bring somebody with tattoo. I said tattoo can even be hidden when the person wears the shirt and whatever. But some want to put the tattoo here to know that you know I have tattoo, or on their legs or wherever. But it's very important. How well is it the person's look or what the person is going to deliver? It's also always said that the hood does not make a monk. Okay, so we need to look at it. Some of these biases we need to manage very well. So let's look at it. Stereotyping. This behavior not only harm the individual affected, but also undermine the trust and collaboration within the organization, leading to what? Toxic workplace culture. These are all barriers. Okay, overcoming these barriers require what? Comprehensive approach, commitment from leadership, adequate resources, continuous education. That is why we are here. The willingness to adapt organizational culture and the practices that will support, okay, that will support diversity, equity, inclusion in the workplace. So let's quickly wrap up what all this is all about. Those barriers to equity, race down to ignorance. Some of us don't even know. Some of us don't even know that diversity is there. Some of us don't even know that we need to struggle to manage inclusion. So race, cultural discrimination, language barrier. Language barrier, let me crack a joke here. I know some of us saw the this thing online. It's not content creator. Someone wrote and said, this Igbo guy was befriending, this Yoruba guy was befriending an Igbo lady. And he knows that the mother said, don't bring me Igbo girl. He said, okay. But he's so much in love with the Igbo girl. He told the Igbo girl that when we get to mommy's place, and she asks you, what is your name? Just say, BC. I'm sure some of us saw it. He said, BC. He said, okay. So when they got to mama's place, he said, oh, my daughter, you're welcome and everything. He said, oh, what's your name? I said, I'm BC. I said, good. BC. But you know the way she will call the BC, probably not as the BC of the Yoruba. Oh. So the mother, you know, all these old women, like what you call the baby boomers and what they say, BC. Which BC is your own? He said, because my son, his father is Olabisi, his brother is Adebisi, his grandfather is Omobisi and BC and BC. BC runs in our family. He said, which BC is your own? He said, Undu BC. At least BC is there. So, you see, language can be a barrier. So immediately the person says, who do you think you want to deceive? It's very important. So when we get our minds off this, you will see that we need to manage diversity. It is natural. The only thing that we need to work with is inclusion. So who can provide the solution to this? International organization down to individuals, families, and good Samaritans, NGOs, HR, and that is what we do. Let's educate our people that we need to manage it. And how can we improve the issues? Through reforms, legacy, advocacy, and all, and training program like we are here. 1 hour talk will make people to realize that where we have a space, we say for people with what not necessarily disability, special needs. Because some of them don't want to be addressed as disability. Say, my disability is an ability somewhere. So they don't want to. So you call them people with special needs. So that is part of training. It's part of it. So we need to manage. What are those initiatives that we need to manage? And that is the strategy, the best practice to ensure that leadership commitment is on integrate leadership performance evaluation. When you see a situation where management does not want to, take them to retreat and let people come and talk to them. Because if you want to send them for training, they will say, you want to send management members for training. No, but where you can, under the camouflage of what? Retreat. Get people to come and talk to them, and they will realize that, are we doing it well? Have we been doing it well? Inclusive onboarding. When we are bringing in new entrants, the way they did somewhere is not the way you would do it in yours. So they need to manage those who are coming in and understand the way we do it here, and that is culture. Then regular evaluation and adaptation of what we are not doing well in the area of DEIB. So what do we need to do? Conduct regular survey and feedback to know, are we getting it? Are we getting it? So like our member from Olam, I'm sure you are doing that, so that is why you were proud to say we are employers of choice. Then the other one is we need to celebrate diversity. There are different ways in which we can do that, through awards, through recognition, through whatever. So the best practice is host events, workshop, and celebrate that. Let the world know we take care of all once we are within this organization. Inclusive communication, encourage dialogue around that. If anybody has any issue, please give a listening ear. That is why you are HR. You need to manage those people so that they will get to know that we are all in this together. The next one is partnership and community engagement. Like what she said, CSR. Your CSR should not be limited to your organization alone. Remember that circle that you have the internal, the external, and the organization. So organization operates within a society, within a community. How well are you doing that? So we need to collaborate with nonprofit and immediate environment or community through our CSR. So inclusive communication has this to say. If what is said is not what is meant is not what is said, then what should have been done remains undone. So it's all about communication. Say it the way it is, write it the way it should be, then they will listen. So that is why communication has 4 legs. reading, understanding, comprehension, and speaking. You wonder where is listening. Listening is an offshoot of speaking. It's an offshoot of speaking. People have forgotten about. There has to be a sound for you to listen. There has to be a sound. Somebody must have said something for you to listen. And that is why listening is an intellectual ability, while hearing is a biological function. Okay, if somebody does not hear, you will take the person to the doctor. But if you say, did you listen? It's an intellectual ability that involves your whole being. So let's look at that and see what we need to manage in the workplace. So inclusive processes, data-driven decision-making, manage your data and see. Some organizations don't have the research and development, but we work around our community and those within the system. Then the other one is equitable compensation and promotion practices, where people feel that, why am I stalled? Why did you bring in someone? Especially the story of Brother Yellow. You brought in, there's a vacancy. Brother Yellow has been on the job forever. But Brother Yellow has hung his pencil and paper and everything and says he's not going to school. Okay? What we should do is that have internal and external advertisement. Give Brother Yellow the opportunity to compete or to apply. Okay, because some places, when on equitable compensation and promotion policy, Brother Yellow has reached the limit of where he can go as supervisor. He can't be a manager, but you just say still apply. Because when you now bring Uncle JJC, who went to university, has finished NYC, but does not have the years of experience that Brother Yellow has, Brother Yellow will throw spanner in the wheel of progress and nothing will work. So how do you manage such a person? So let's have something, even if it's not equitable, as we said before, 50-50 down the line, let him get something. Yes, sir. Who has the mic? Any question online? Any question online? Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon all. Ma,
yes,
I want to actually talk about the opening prayer because of diversity.
Yes.
From the organization I came over time, over time, we are very, very religious in this part of the world.
Yes.
And that has been taken off. And what we have there in our organization is diversity moment, whereby people are selected because of other persons. Because immediately you come up and say opening prayer, it directs everybody's mind to Christianity.
Yeah.
And I think that should be proper things in organizations, most especially when you have people from different culture, religion, and all that. And that's the first thing we have here, opening prayer. And I think it should be looked into and changed into something like diversity moment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I won't say what I said, but the national coordinator will bear me witness what you have said. Okay? But I know I won't say it here because I'm one leg in and one leg out. I'm on your side and I'm on the side of the institute. We will look into that. Okay? We will look into it. But that has always been, even see, on the privilege table, not high table because we are all on the privilege table, we are well represented. I won't tell you what I said and what we did in order to, what you can see from whatever. But we look into that. Thank you for bringing our attention to it. Where I was before, it used to be the second stanza of the national anthem that will be the prayer. And now, even with this, oh God of creation, is that the one person? And it says, Nigeria will hail thee. I think there's either the third standard or the second one that they said we should use as national prayer. They said it, but some of us are still not sticking to that. But there is the other one, which was the second stanza, but this one, I think, is the third standard. Oh God of creation, direct our noble course. I think that is what they said we should use for prayers. So thank you. We will look into that. Thank you. So compensation and promotion policies, then employee resource group. We need to look at this, provide cross collaboration, and we will get there. We will need to foster culture of belonging so that people will not see that they are not included in the scheme of things. Leadership, commitment, and development, as we mentioned before, please take them for retreat and let them know what we are not doing well. So what do? We need to we have entered a post-normal time where people fight for their rights and where people feel that whatever it is you need to do, get me inside and we're part of it. So we need to look ahead. We need to have action in place and whatever, and strategic HR that are adaptable, growth-oriented, take responsibility for getting things done in order to train and make people to act the way, like what he said. You need to get people along or else we'll be left alone. Before we end, I've not heard anything from those who are online. Those who are online, are you part of us or you are against us? Those who are online, are you part of us or you are against us? No question. The people that asked the question yesterday, as I said, you put in the parking bay that we'll discuss today. 2, I can't see anyone. Okay, maybe the answer, maybe when they were sleeping, the answer came to them. So let's move on. So in summary, diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion, we need to manage that in the workplace. The presence of it is something that we cannot overlook. The presence of the differences, that's diversity, fair access, opportunity and support, and that is equity. Equity, different types of people, and genuine sense of belonging and value, and that is inclusion. We need to manage that very well. Not the final word, not the final word. Question time, lesson time, because I have just 1 or 2 slides more. I want to take questions. Okay. I want to take questions online and let's get there.
All right, sorry, pardon me. I've not worn a tie in a long time.
Oh, you see now.
I like diversity. I'm a champion of diversity and inclusion where I work. I remember 8 years ago, I was pushing for working from home and so many other things, and people thought I was crazy. However, after listening to your class, I do have a question.
Yes,
is there a place where these ideas stop or they are challenged? In other words, how diverse can I be? How inclusive can I be? Is it going to be inclusive in everything, like everything comes, you just take? Or should there be where we put some restriction? Let me give an example.
Yes, sir.
My country may say, we don't want this, but I'm supposed to practice international best practices.
Yeah.
Where do I draw the line? Thank you.
Where do I draw the line when my country wants this and international best practices says the other? What do I do? You see, I'll give you example of what happened, my situation. So I will not say, because when you say something, we have to realize that one size does not fit all. If you look around, all the caps that you are wearing, some are using their ears to carry the cap. Is that not so? Is that not so? Is that not so? They are using their ears to carry the cap, where some are using wig to carry it. So one size does not fit all. Let me give you the example of what we did when we found ourselves in that situation. Our head office is outside of Lagos. And during the era of June 12th, we said, don't go to work in Lagos. We'll have to call our head office and say, they say we should not come to work. So don't expect us to send anything. So if you send anything on June 12th, you know that it has entered voicemail. So before then, we were confused before June 12th. So when the June 12th issue now started coming up, so what they told us at head office was that do that which is obtainable within your environment. Adapt. That is part of what we said now. Adapt to the environment. Because you are working within an environment that if you now want to operate what is obtainable at your head office, you find yourself in trouble. So they say, use your discretion. One size does not fit all. So in those days, we will close the office. They will not expect anything from us on June 12th. So it depends on the environment you find yourself. They should understand. Let's assume now we have an office in Jerusalem or in Gaza, and you now say because it's international best practice that we should do this thing. You now say something is going on there. I don't expect you to be there at that point in time. Or somebody is in Ukraine and you say you have to be there because war is not fully hitting the capital, and you say I should be there. Black skin will not operate well in that place unless you want to go and carry gun. So what we're saying is that you use your discretion and make them realize that some of these things are not obtainable. They cannot be practiced at this point in time. Situate it within the context of where you are operating, and they will not tell you to put your life on the line anyway. Do you understand? These are some of the things, but we're not even talking of life now. We're not going to jeopardize the brand, the organization, if you cannot operate in that place. Because if you do and you go foul of the law, we mentioned something about regulations and laws now. If you go against that, what do? Will they come to your rescue? Even if they do, so many things will have gone wrong. So it's important that we weigh the pros and cons before you take a stand. Thank you. So, not the final word. Diversity, inclusion, and belonging are initiatives that are crucial to fostering inclusive workplace. Effective strategy and best practices can help organizations to have a more equitable environment, improve employment engagement, and drive better business outcome. Implementing these strategies can help organizations build a more diverse, equitable, inclusive, belonging focused workplace. This effort not only improve organizational culture, but also contribute to better business. So what we want now is that as a child, don't look at yourself that you are on top of the game and everything. What you should do, move away from it is from I. Okay, it is we, us, not I, not me. Build a community and avoid what? Myonization. My ownization. My ownization. So avoid that as HR. We need to do what we need to do is always remember that workplace is a community of diverse people. Okay, you rather work with somebody that is less skilled than people with high content and snobs who will not be there. No one succeeds alone. If you don't believe in people, people won't believe in you. I, mine, my, me are all about myonization. They don't work in the workplace. So what do we need to do? We need to stop what we did. What did we do that got in our way, and we should discontinue? Like the traffic light, red, amber, and go. Stay with what we did that worked well for us. Start doing that which will move us forward. So what we have said is that what? Avoid this. The most selfish one-letter word is what? I. Thank you. So what do you do to it? Avoid it. So as HR, get people all to be able to be there for us. Ife, can we have the video? Thank you. So we end up with this video, and I want us to concentrate. It's all about us getting people together in the workplace. Thank you for listening, but don't clap yet. Don't clap. Don't clap yet. Don't clap yet. I've not taken any question online. So listen to this and let's enjoy. Yes. Actually. Go to the next.
An elderly carpenter was ready to retire. He told his employer of his plans to leave about a building business to live the more leisure life with his wife and enjoy his extended family. But he wanted to retire. The employer was sorry to see his worker go and asked if he could build just one more house as a personal favor. The young man agreed and started what he called the last project of his life. Since it was his last project, worked half-heartedly. He said goodbye to overtime. He did not consider to find the best swimming pool show. He did not consider having a swimming pool in this project. He did not choose quality with 4 years. The furniture was not of good quality. The employer called the carpenter in his office. He gave the keys of this little house to the carpenter, saying, "This is my gift. For such a commendable service over 15 years, the carpenter was shocked. He would have done it almost so naturally. So it is thus. We live our lives a day at a time, often doing less than our best with building. Then, with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house we have built. If we can do it sober, we can do it much differently. But you cannot go back. Robert Carpenter, and every day you ever and day, they support or regret support. Someone once said, life is a lose yourself project. Your attitude to the choices you made today help build the house you live in tomorrow. Therefore, if you build wisely.
Thank you. And that is the end of the discussion today. Then we take some questions online and those who are here. Thank you. Thank you. Go back and watch that video. You see so many things that are coming up. Thank you for listening. And let's take some questions.
All right. Sorry, please. Let's take hands of those that are asking questions. We've checked, none online. I've checked that. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You know, sometimes question may want to give birth to question. Don't just get pregnant overnight, you know. So we'll take you first. We'll take you second, then we'll take you third. Let's go. Your name, then the question.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm Abiodun Doris. I want to appreciate you for this lecture. It was fully packed. And while you were trying to draw the curtain, you had this effect on me, like when I was young and my mom had to drop me off at school. And that burden of Baba was always very difficult for me. So this lecture was in fact, I learned a lot. I want to add that while we were treating the benefits of diversity, equity, inclusion, belongingness in the workplace, we omitted its effect on the workers, which is good mental and health medical states. Yes, by the time an officer or a worker feels wanted, feels welcomed, there's always room for him or her to be mentally stable and medically fit. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right. Let's have you, Ma. Let's have you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So my question is
Your name first.
Okay, I'm Eunice Omotosho.
Okay.
I'm going to be more practical here from the question. Is there any way an old staff, an employee, can be satisfied when somebody that came after him or her is being placed to supervise him or her? And when such a person, to the whole staff, has this kind of attitude of bringing other people to him or herself to victimize the newly employed person that is placed ahead of him or her? That is one. The second one is this. The second question is about, I forgot.
When you remember, don't worry.
I'll ask again.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. The name, sir.
Leki Oshiemi is my name. And good afternoon, ma'am. It's my pleasure to see you again.
Thank you.
So my question is in three parts. One is on fairness. The second one is on our Africanness. And the third one was on the principle of pronouns. All right, so yesterday I was in a class, the lady introduced herself as we. All right, and said, I would rather be called, right? And I said, look, how far do you want to take this? He, she, me, they, them, those. How far do we, well, and like the gentleman asked, is there a head for this thing? But it seems to be endless. All right, do we want to put do we want about these things, because it can really, really be confusing to the rest of us that are trying to accommodate you LGBTQ plus. All right, so that's my question one. Question two is the question of fairness. I was on the panel recently, and a group of, okay, let me twist this around. A group of, the organization had quite a number of persons in authority that were women. And after due process and a lot of interviews, I realized that a particular woman had highly qualified for this role, but was not given that job. And I was wrestled down by everybody else on the panel that, look, you have to give this job because of diversity and inclusion to a man. Find the most educated of all, and we had to give this job, which was purple figure. If I mention the figure, some people will have issues here. But had to be given to another gender because that other person was not the gender that they wanted. So that is my question two. My question three is this. Are we prepared for the influx of Bobrisky's into our workplace? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Please, the second question is this. Under this diversity, equity, and the rest, my question is I work in an MFI, and we discovered that in that system, women thrive more. They are smarter. I'm very sorry. I'm not diverse, I'm not a biased person. But when interviews are done, promotion tests are done, even the female fold, they are always at the lead. Not so now. Now, then even being smart at work too, we find out that the female folk, they are doing better. Maybe because it has to do with finance and all that. Now, the question is, will you now say such an organization is being biased when a male person that is not doing very well, a female staff is now preferred over him? Is that person, such an employer, is the person being biased unconsciously, or how do we rate that?
The first question is that
I know staff and somebody new. Over and above the pen. Get the job then.
Of the youngest staff that is placed above it.
You see, well, some of these things are not cast in stone. It depends on the policy of the organization. If you say that because somebody is better and is a lower staff, and it can go and do a better job up there, and you just suppress his or idea, that person will fly out of the organization. But what you need to do, the policy must be such that there'll be room for high flyers, so that all of us will now be flying that, okay, I have to get there, I have to get there. But if the older staff does not have, like the example I gave of Boda Yellow, that does not want to go to coming in, has what it is, but that person does. It has to do with the organizational policy. You cannot have a blanket answer for this, because what is obtainable in one organization may not be applicable in the other. So if the organization says so and there's room, I will say they should let that person operate. The best they can do is move the older staff to another unit. Okay? They can move that person to another unit where he will also fly or whatever. Or that is why some organizations have what they call mentorship within the institutionalized mentorship and coaching and counseling. Okay, and they'll be able to. I give you an example. There's this organization that when I was in service, what happened was that they said they have so many of their middle level, close to middle level, maybe supervisors, doing very good jobs, but they are not literate. So what did they do? They called us to come and give them adult education for 6 months of the year, and they were coming. So that if they're able to get to maybe school set or whatever, or they are even good enough to write and do whatever, they will promote them to a level. Even in the public service, there's a ceiling for those who have a particular degree or whatever. You can't go beyond that. So if you now say that because I have a first degree and I have years of experience, there's somebody with a master's degree that should come in on level 9, step 2 or whatever, but because I've been there and I cannot move beyond whatever, I've reached the bar. So what should you do? Because of that, we say the organization's goals and objectives will not be achieved. And one thing we always say in management is that if somebody is not doing a good job, please journal the person. Journal the person, or else it will be a sore thumb in the midst of all. It will influence others negatively. And before you know it, you have a toxic environment. So journal whoever is not ready to fall in line. The world, the sky is so wide that they can go to other places that are mediocres. Okay? Blue chips companies will not take them. Do that with you. Why are we, some of us here? We need to be able to up our ante, to know, hone our skills, to know how it is done out there, to be able to network. But some people they are comfortable in their comfort zone. They don't want to explore. So the second one you said, ma'am, was what? Have I answered the two? The first one was this. So let me take Mr. Shiemi's question. He said, can you remind you there are 3? Okay. And our Africanness. Our Africanness you cannot take away from us. You cannot. You see, there are situations where even if you find yourself outside of this climb, you will just be that African. Then the one that is fairness is relative. It's relative. If I'm fair to you, you may feel that I'm not fair enough. And what is that enough? How do you want to measure the enough? Then the other one, that are we ready to take the likes of Bobrisky into our organizations? There's a limit to which that Africanness in us will not let him come in, him or he, or let him, her, or he, she. To shim. He, she. Shim. 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 There's no way. There's no way. Even remember when Bobrisky got to the presence of the judge and the judge said, "Are you a he or a she?" He said, "I'm a he." Yeah, you remember? He said he's a he. Shim said he's he. He knew that if he had said I'm a she, he would have stayed longer in Kirikiri now. So he will have stayed longer in Kirikiri. They will have thrown the books at him. So that Africanness in us, we cannot throw it away. Okay, we need to manage it. It's still part of the diversity, the inclusion that we are trying to have. Even the National Assembly recognizes it, that we are still African. That is why 14 years for him, she, shim that is caught with another shim. So it's very important. So there's little we can do, but for those ones that are glaring and facing us squarely, apart from shim, we can work around some of them. Okay?
All right. Thank you, man. Another question. In an organization, when you are promoted and it's not implemented, while some other persons in the same organization had the same promotion alongside with you, got theirs. Yours was not implemented, but others got their own implemented.
That's what office politics. Office politics. Something is amiss. Okay, something is amiss. That person should learn to play the office politics. If all of us got the letter of promotion and one is implemented and the other one is not implemented, even if the union or whoever comes to fight for that person, there'll be something that they will say why we have not implemented. Maybe there is no space, no vacancy. You were promoted, but there is no vacancy. Vacancy, promotion is based on vacancy. So look at it. But there is vacancy for that person in accounts, but there is no vacancy for those of us in admin or learning and development. So your promotion will be hanging. So when there is another exercise of exam, they will say because you had it that time, doesn't mean it's automatic that you are going to step in, go sit with them again in that. So you need to know, as I said before, ride the tiger, but don't end up in the belly of the tiger. That is office politics. Play it well, and they will find a way that you came on merit. Something must happen. Something must happen. But please play it well. That is it.
All right. An applause for everyone, please, on this note. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, celebrate Madam for me. Celebrate her. Thank you very much, man. We love that. We love that. Okay, before we move on, help me. Can we please be upstanding? I need to do something quickly. He has to wait till now because he doesn't like breaking into affairs while we're on doing the paper presentation. But you have to make it here today by all means. Events had to keep him out of Lagos, but he just has to come to honor you today. He has to come. I'm talking about the president of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, in person of Dr. Olufemi Samuel. Please help me celebrate him as he comes forward. Keep clapping, please. This is our president. This is our president. Don't get tired of celebrating him, please. I don't know how to celebrate him other than you to just give him a standing ovation and you clap. Once again, while you are sitting, put your hands together and take your seats. You're welcome, sir. When he comes up, you hear his voice, then you know more about him. I don't want to talk more about him because for him to be the president, you know, he has it. He has it. Maybe I'll need some 2 boards of screens to begin to read. But it's that simple of a man, but loaded, intellectually, loaded, practically. I can tell you that. Now, before I do the next thing along this line, permit me to address 1 or 2 things based on the questions that have been raised. You talk about fairness, you talk about diversity. I want us to be very careful the way you interpret words. You can say it one way, I can hear it and interpret it in another way. Especially in this world where somebody can read meaning to words to suit him or her. Not that somebody mispronounced the word now, but you interpret it to suit you. What do you call? Religion is an issue in Nigeria, but I think wise ones have been handling it with extreme wisdom and it's been working, especially in this institute. I've been deeply involved and I know what we do to address that here. For anyone, well, because you are coming for induction today, you may not, of course, you have not come for maybe trainings. If you have come for trainings, you'll have known that we do the needful when it comes to making sure that we don't have problems with that. We are fair enough. I just have to say this openly. When you see people who bring to high table, apart from the official ones, we'll make sure that's a Christian, we'll make sure that's a Muslim. It's deliberate. In the office, we have a good number of members of staff that are Muslims. We have a good number of members that are Christian. We are conscious of it because we're not after your religion, we're after your delivery. And that brings me to my normal saying of not going for your certificate, which is needful, we'll consider it, but we have to go for your certificate. What do you know? We have to go for your certificate, what you know. So that takes me to say that please, in our various offices, be careful how you manage religious matters. I'm a pastor, but I manage Muslims. I have Alhaji as my friends. While in this program, I have sent messages to some Alhaji to help me look for accommodation for my members. Christian member, but Alhaji to help me look for accommodation for them. We have to be liberal. If you must succeed in your office, you must be liberal. That is why I love that statement. Certificate is better than, is greater rather than certificate. Because you can still have certificate and not perform better. So I want to plead with us. I love the question you raised or that observation somebody there earlier. That's why I'm addressing this. Please don't get to that extreme. Don't. In fact, the way Nigeria is made now, sir, we find out that there are both, in fact, more than one religion in every family. You may not know, but when you get to your village, you discover that people in your family, they have Christians, they have Muslims, they have traditionalists, they have that. So will you shoot them? What matters in organization as HR people is the success of where you are. And I love the way Madam put it when she was responding to somebody about this, somebody being preferred. See, bias affect the growth and success of the organization. But the way they know that you're not biased is that they see you practice it. Not now you want to practice it. They see you have been there. You have been very open and liberal. It's important that you get this and act it. And HR, don't be afraid of your MD. Say it nicely. Right? HR cannot just know how to talk. You must know how to write. Send memo, nice memo. Justify. If you have things to use to back up yourself, send it. Let them reason. Go and do meeting with your MD or whoever. Discuss. They don't go with fights. Somebody was sharing at the back. So that's why I'm saying this, sir. Don't go and fight. You can't fight your MD. You can't fight the owner of the business. You send you away. Calm down. You may not see reason, but when you go there as the HR, he appointed you. He will reason with you. Don't go and fight somebody. Don't go and do that. That's one area I love my president. I'm sure when they call him now, maybe may address one or two things. But vitally, to me, those of us online and on site, please, you are not bored. You are there to work. Work to promote and get the best out of every person in the organization to the growth and success of that organization. That is where you two will be happy. Then you are not promoted, take it easy. Calm down, discuss, get focused, get results. Your results will promote you. I'm not preaching, I'm being fact. It has happened to me before. When they're looking for someone saying, no, I didn't read engineering, but somehow, what I have done, say, no, what about that man? I thought he was head of one. They said, no, they were just assisting them. Before I knew, I became the general manager of an engineering department. Then I had to help myself to do some underground things. So I quickly add something to myself. Yes. There's some things they are looking at. You may not have it. Don't get it mixed. You may not have it because they won't tell you details that why they didn't give it to you. Check yourself. Bring yourself up. Add value to yourself like you are doing today. Before you know what's happening. HR person now, they don't become MDO. It's before they give accounting people, they give whatever. I'm not against them. But now they don't give HR because they expect you to be all-knowing. You know engineering people, you know this, you know this. Add a bit of everything and cook a nice soup. Thank you. Thank you. All right, on this note, permit me to he's going to give us a brief version of his welcome address, though. Then I'll bring it back for the oath taking. On this note, help me welcome our dear President, Dr. Samuel Moyali. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, distinguished inductees. I want to believe that afternoon. Oh, sorry about that. The environment has been very, very deceptive. Sorry about that. In a few minutes, you become members of the institute. But for now, you are inductees. I don't have much to say. My sister here has said a lot of things. I just want to add one or two things to what she mentioned. This institute is the future of HR. This institute is what the world has been expecting. We are bringing in a new approach to the practice of HRM. If you observe, most of the institutes that has to do with human resource management around us focus more on processes. Ours is on practices. We are not looking at the processes alone. We are also looking at the practices because that is the end thing. And if you look at the trend of the practice of HR today, someone mentioned well-being, wellness, or mental illness, or something. I said that person must be very sensitive. It's an issue now. When you talk of psychiatric issue, it is not when you carry cutlass and begin to run after your fellow being. It is not when you remove your shirt, you remove your trousers, and begin to exchange blows with your partner or your colleagues. You can be mentally unbalanced and people will not know. We experience depression these days everywhere. Even the man you complain or you see as your superior might be passing through a very serious mental issue or mental ailment. HR is beginning to be conscious, not only on recruitment, selection, we have gone beyond that. Compensation, reward management, we have gone that. Today we are beginning to look at what would be our role in the 5th industrial revolution. What would be our role? How do we accommodate the alpha beta children when they start work? You begin to look at, you said Gen Z. Gen Z, we can still manage them. Alpha, beta, they have a peculiarity with them. permit me, my sister, when you gave birth many, many years ago, I'm sure the baby closed their eyes, right? Today, they open their eyes wide. Am I correct, man? That is to tell you that something is changing. And in those days, when you hear daddy is coming, mommy is coming, you run under the bed, you run somewhere, your MD is coming, but it's no longer happen. It doesn't happen again. And that's why I said our focus is more on practices. It's no longer on processes. If you look at processes, that's why you begin to look at book. He slapped me. Do not smoke, he smoke, I sack him. How many people do you want to sack? How many people do you want to belong to Group A? My HOD or my director is another clique. I am not, I can't join Ubuni. I can't join, I'm not a Christian, I'm not Muslim. HRM has gone beyond that long time ago. Nobody is interested in processes alone. We are more interested in practices. Your well-being is very critical. Your mental state is very critical. AI that is managing the future of organizations now. A lot of organizations will disappear if organizations are not conscious of the hybrid work environment, where you look at working remotely and working physically in the organization. There will be a blend. If you are not conscious of this, you will just disappear one day. Because the alpha beta that are coming are more comfortable with working in the gig economy. An economy where most of the things you do are on contracts. You can't claim them. Very soon in the public sector, you begin to hear stories. If you ask people now, we want to work in, especially these young boys, you want to work in the public sector, the first question they will ask you is, how much are they going to pay me? Because my mother, who worked here for 30-something years, did not receive up to 250,000 before she retired. And she's still running after her pension now, or her gratuity, as the case may be. These are questions. You need to prepare yourself for the future. Someone mentioned Bobrisky there. I just smiled. When you mention diversity management also captures what we call sexual orientation. It's a topic for another day. It's very deep. It is as an exceptional case. He claimed to be a woman. People already perceive him to be a woman. When he got to the court of law, they asked him, are you a man or a woman? He said, I am a man. That is legally, but that does not change his orientation, his thinking. Ladies and gentlemen, let me add this before I take my seat. In the era of personnel management, labor administration, before we go to human capital management, we used to look at, this is my superior, this is my, today, engagement is very critical. Nobody knows it all. My sister here mentioned bottom-up approach. Bottom-up approach is a Japanese management style, where all junior workers are in decision-making process. You don't make decisions from the top in Japan. They have a unique you look at the Japanese management style, everything about them is different. Retirement age used to be 55, it's now 60. They believe in teamwork, and whatever they are doing is associated to their tradition. Godfatherism, godmotherism, if there's anything like that, nepotism, ethnicity, all these are eliminated to the BRS minimum. That I am your superior does not mean that my salary should be more than you, that is the junior. You can be my junior and your salary will be more than mine. That management style. Qualification and experience combined, the struggle in Japanese management style. In Nigeria, it is more of qualification. And I know we'll get there one day. They tell you because you are HND holder, you cannot be the head of a unit. Someone who just graduated yesterday or was not even born when you started practicing will be appointed or will be made your superior. And you will now be the one to be teaching him or her how to do the job. It is policy. The policy is required to maintain stability in the system. If you don't have policies to guide us, we have what we call a utopian society. And the greatest mistake you can make is to be lawful in a lawless society. Because you'll be treated as a deviant. Where I come from, there's a proverb that when you have carried this here, carry it, and refuse to join them in carrying the load, they will just bring it on your bed, not backyard, on your bed, they put it on your head. Ladies and gentlemen, I congratulate you once more that as you join this institute, this is the beginning. The HR realm is changing. It's changing. It's no longer the project recruitment, selection, staffing, compensation, blah, blah, blah. It has gone beyond that long time ago. We are more interested in the specifics. How do you handle a situation where your superior insisted on sleeping with you as a woman before you are promoted? How do you handle such? You know the number of years it took you to get the job. Now the man is saying yes, and you're a married woman. Maybe the man is just struggling to provide for the family. A lot of issues. And there are so many things that are not documented that we have to rely on engagement, consultation. What will bring out the best result? Gentlemen and ladies, I congratulate you and I welcome you on board as we proceed on this training. And as we move on, I want to assure you, those online and those that are listening to me physically, that you are in the right place. To the glory of God, we have opened Abuja chapter now. There'll be a chapter in Abuja for FCT members, people who are within Abuja. And that is how we'll continue to engage and accommodate views and contributions of people. Your experience in public sector will be slightly different from my own experience in the private sector. My own experience will not be the same as yours. And before I take my seat, years back, I had served my time as the head of department of my institution, in my former institution. I never knew that the then Oga was going out with a colleague of mine that I had issue with. And I was fighting her. No integrity. I'm moving transparent. I was speaking all big grammar. It was the younger brother of the vice chancellor that called me. Oga, take it easy. This woman, I normally see her with my brother. So I said, okay. But I had gone far with her. I said, well, this one is for fights. We have started. I cannot go back. So I went to meet those that I know too in the system. They said, is that the case? That they have brought your matter here. They have brought your matter here. In fact, they are trying to look at how we give you the next promotion. I never knew. And I asked, sir, what can I do now? Incidentally, today as I speak with you, one of the people who stood by me is also a member of the governing council of this institute. He's a vice chancellor, deputy vice chancellor of a university in this Lagos. Now, they took me to the lady that this was what happened. They said, okay, we'll trash it out. One woman. She went to meet people that I almost lost my job because somebody somewhere was going out with my superior that had issue with organizational politics everywhere. What is politics? Power, application of power. Your subordinate can remove you from office if you are careless. You see somebody would tell you, I will get it is when you are in everywhere, you even at family level, they are there. So as you progress in your career, please be cognizant of one thing. Competence. Competence will always stand you out. Don't do things you cannot defend. How was I able to resolve the issue? Where we told our matter, where we met. I told them this. Because he was interested in taking over from me, and I was not interested. Elements of politics will always come to play. But competence will stand you out. Somebody will see you, somebody will recognize you and bring you out to the table. Thank you as you progress.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I told you when they come, you hear something. That is it. We are very passionate about what we do here. You heard him. We're not talking about the process. We're more concerned about the practices. That is why when you come on board, you do it the way it should be done. So far, it will be fair to everyone, and the result is going to come genuinely. Everybody will appreciate it. All right, on this note, we'll go straight into the induction. Please, for all of you on site, in your bag, there's oath there, there's an oath form. Please bring it out. For those of you online, please follow the form on the screen as we go with this assignment. Just hold on, we'll tell you what to do. I know you can flip on. Relax. Relax. There's no mark for who first sign on. We'll not first induct the person that first submit form. Because I remember in school, extra sheet. By the time they bring the exam and has gone 45, the guy has got 28. I begin to wonder, where did all the extra sheets went to? Then one funny one, they said somebody was copying him. The guy has collected 3 extra sheets. On the 4th one, said, it's a mistake. He told the whole 3 he has written on. The guy come and say, what happened? Say, I wrote, it was nonsense I wrote. Say, immediately call Gwele. That means I've written everything. All right. So please, let's welcome the president as we all remain standing. You remain standing with your right hand up. this way. Those online, same thing. Please be on your feet now and you raise your right hand this way. While those of you online, check on the screen, is there Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. Is there, you just follow as we're going to do it. While the president will just go ahead and lead us. All right. Okay. I think it's here. Okay.
The Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. Please read, repeat after me. The Code of Ethics, Professional Conduct describes the expectation that we have of ourselves and our fellow practitioners all over the world. It articulates the ideas to which we aspire, as well as the behavior that are mandatory behaviors in our professional and voluntary roles. Therefore, as a member, I mention your name. Pledge to conduct myself professionally with the truth, accuracy, fairness, and responsible to the public. To pay my annual membership subscription on the 2nd of every January yearly. To foster the highest standard of professional competence among those whom I am responsible. To enhance the proficiency and stature of the profession by acquiring and applying knowledge in the most appropriate way and manner. To participate in all professional development programs so that one's knowledge and performance are enhanced. To disassociate myself from anything that can tarnish the good image of the institute or bring into disrepute. To honor confidence received or given in the course of professional activities. To comply with both the letter and the intent of the laws of the country in which I practice and agreed contractual obligations. To cooperate with all the organizations and individuals engaged in activities which promote the development and standards in the institute. To have a positive duty at all times to respect the truth and shall not disseminate false or misleading information. To abide by and to encourage others to practice the professional code of ethics of the Institute. That I make this pledge in good faith and in accordance with the policy of the Institute. I understand that the Institute reserves the right to suspend me or dismiss me summarily from the membership of the Institute should I violate any of the above promises which are voluntarily made by me. So help me God. Thank you. You append your signature, your phone number, ensure it is signed, and you are now confirmed members of the Institute. Congratulations.
Can you please applaud yourselves?
I pronounce you members of the Institute. Thank you.
Can you please applaud yourselves? Applaud yourselves. You may please have your seat. Thank you. All right, on a quick one, help us fill that thing, put your names there, put your signature there, your phone number where necessary, your signature, help us put them together quickly. Please make sure it's your own. You don't need to write your neighbor's own. Write your own. I know you love your neighbor, but love yourself, love your neighbor as yourself. Then your passport is important. If you have it here, write your name behind your passport. If you have your passport here, write your name behind your passport, then give it to them with a form. Don't worry. As long as your name is on the passport, it cannot get mixed up. Put your name behind the passport and give them with a form. Okay? Then, please, for all of us here, just all of you on my extreme left, send it to the person sitting at this on the aisle here. All of you here, send it to this person here. Please, all of you opposite me, send it to this person here so that the person can collect the two together here. Quickly, fill it up, sign, and submit. But if you don't have your, don't worry, I just announced something. Put your name behind the passport. You cannot get mixed up. Don't worry. They have stapler here. They will fix it. They will collect like that. Don't worry. Just give them. They'll fix it. Same thing here. Send it to the person here. Those of you here, send it to the person here so that they can collect it on the house. Send it. If you have your passport, write your name behind, please. Then for those of you online that you don't have, that you're there, please download the forms, fill the forms, then add your passport to it, then scan and send to the office. Scan and send to the email of the office. You have it there with you, please quickly do that. Then for those of you here, in case you don't have your passport with you, all you need to do is that you can send your passport much later. When you're sending, please put your name underneath where you're scanning so that they can get your name and send it to info@cihrmglobal.org. I take it again, info@cihrmglobal.org. That's where we should send it to. All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's do that quickly. Where are those picking the forms? I see some people who have some forms here. If you still have your form, don't bother to attach, sir. Don't give them. So far your name is behind. Just give to them. We are just. All right. Hello, lady, please come forward. Come and pick from her. See, somebody here. If your pastor is not here, don't worry. Just make sure you send it. Send the soft copy to info@cihrmglobal.org. That's what we do. All right. Sir, with your permission, I've been asked that we should have a twist in induction this morning, that we should do online first. We only do them last, and they said they complained. So they complained that we always forget them. Now, the way we do here, I'm just going to read out names while all of us on site, we just upload them. Please, let's do so that it can be more resounding. All right, so permit me, National Coordinator, please pardon us for that. All right. Okay, the assignment we have here now, just join me while I call the name. So I just run through the names. I'll call the category, then you just keep uploading them. The secretariat, let's have them purely on the screen. You can't have them up there. All right. Okay. We'll start with because you have taken the oath, and the president has declared you members already. So we have the honor of having online for today's induction doctoral fellows in no particular order. Ibe Ambrose Ike. Let me celebrate them, please. Dr. Jaja Enye Sunday, Ojobo Cletus Ifeanyi Chukwu, Adam Sylvester Adiola, Azuma Cheta Ugochukwu, Lazarus Upaka Ikechukwu, Shitu Rita Morris, Miriam Abiodun, Mohammed Ahmed Tijani, Lami Hamza Kachi, Shitu Rita Morris, Miriam Abiodun, Mohammed Ahmed Tijani, I've taken that, Lami Hamza Kachi, then 13, Enubuje Vera Adiza. We go straight to fellow Lucy Enoikpe Oku, Anna Emmanuel, Falola Olusegun Isaac, Amaze Erika Akinzoa, Udoma Precious Omogene, Alison George Abere, Anderson Idonideriga Woyengiku, Ashaju Oluseyinde Blessing, Lawal Ganu Blessing, Aiba Wanate, Audrey Obiku, Adekile Olawale at Olawale Ransom, Edwin Enemuna Ocheni, Dr. Joseph Uguwaye Igli, Ile Koza Uwame Balogun, Yerima Nasasikia Johanna, Onum Ikoabasi Alexander, Igebo Yesoge Irene, Akko Enojo Sunday, Ukuma Evans, Oji Chukwemeka Chukwudi, Jamabo Ibibere Marcos, Subula Efa Olele, Eta Neji, Dr. Joy Erimife, Adekile Olawale Ransom, Inalegu Victor Ochite, Ehoro Jesse Charles, Said Ibrahim, Kende Toho Kai, Sinclair Ebsine Sandra, Emiola Abiola Babatunde, Daisy Osunde, Atinuke Abidemi Odedino, Oleche Pauline Alakeche, Odedino Rebecca Adeshola, Akintunde Elizabeth Olutayo Danilola, Adebi Tolulope Esther, Abdullahi Nura Wali, Nwadike Shedrack Izuna, Adekunle Adedoyin Kumliat, Idewo Felix Omaregba, Medupin Abiodun Augustine, Dabiri Olubukola Abishola Kauzarat, okay? Olówere Samuel Temidayo, Oshune Gbenga Oluwole, Adedapo Ayobami Alabi, Onigbo Chinyere N Princess, Ogenekoge Joy, Fadeni Jumoke Helen, Bezin Okechime, Amonaya Hannah Awaji, Iyemi Yina, Nakom Caleb Yusuf, Anthony Finipade Zoke Mefa, then Nosa T. Adams, full member who work Comfort Effiong, Omilabu Damilare Ezekiel, Niradi Leva Magui, Faith Ajuma Elemuna, Nwosu Victoria Owanyizu, Oba Anulike Jacinta, Ibitola Jola Yemi Akinkwelu Ademola Israel, Eimare Emmanuel Otebaise, Niradi Leva Magui, Opebi Tolulope Omolola, Adedoyin Ayorinde Nathaniel, Tony Ebiteye Juliet, Olajide Adepeju Aderonke, Mogaji Mudashiru Olakunleyin, Anna Ndidiamaka Sarah, Abaisubong Faith Onajite, Edet Comfort Augustine, Onbiko Kelechi, Musa Samuel Ademuyiwa, Nwanere Theodore Tuche, Michelle Adebayo Lawal. All right, Associate Gabriel Sefat Obasuyi, afford them a joy, Ebere, Akonde Tolulope Roseline, Marcelinos Wende, Opala Chine Scholastical, Erumesele Enori Doris, Comfort Mark Amadi, Olanewaju Blessing Boluwatife, Wachuku Chinoye, Moran Michael Yomi Adebosin, Odita Anthony, Bilisomi Ayoku Joseph, Ebimere Sinte, Chim Chinakasi, Imo Esen Susan, List Kukoyi, Bega Godwin. Celebrate them loud and clear for them. Congratulations to you all online. All right. On this note, permit me to welcome to podium for the next on-site presentation. Applause to him as he comes forward. All right. Can I have a sorry? If you're a doctor, let me see your hand. Dr. Fellows, are you all here? Just raise your hands, sir. Don't respond. Dr. Fellow. We're trying to make sure that we don't keep you longer for decoration. Doctoral fellow, please just hold on. Calm down. Hello, for fellow, please lift your hands. She will attend to you. Hello there. Come, take fellow from here. Don't worry. Start from here, so that you know that you can from there come this way. No. Please put it on. Put it on. She just told you. The fellow for the full fellow. Hello, Lady Jessie. The fellow should be here. No, yeah. The fellow should be here or here. Okay, the fellow is on the left. Yeah. Am I correct? Make sure your fellow is on your left. That's it. Yeah. Then make sure it's balanced. Yeah, good. That is it. That is it. Fellow. Just make sure that the letterings are balanced at the front. No, the fellow should be on your left. Still on the left side. Yes. Change your smile. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Hello, ma. Yes. Change your smile. Madam talking. Hello, ma. Change it. Fellow on your left side. Yeah. Just make sure it balances here, sir. Make sure, no. Should balance to the other one. Check. The lettering. Make sure it balances. Yes, thank you. All right, in no particular order, I'm going to do the fellow in no particular order. Sorry, doctoral fellow, yeah. When I call your name, since you're already decorated, when I call your name, you just go straight to the president. I know you know, but when I call them, when you get there, receive whatever is given you with your left and shake with your right hand. I know you know it, but let me just say it. Receive with your left and shake with your right hand. Your handshake should be behind whatever you are receiving, so that whatever you are receiving can be conspicuous. Thank you very much. Okay? This body. Just put this one. Dr. Halimat Adenike Tejosho. Okay, my HRM. Okay, HRH. Abi? HRH. Her Royal Highness. Okay. So, which I don't know what tell Joshua now. So if I come now, cause trouble. Yes. Is somebody with you? Do you have family support, man? Family support? Anybody with you here? Okay. No, we can just do that. No, there is time for this edge of very important. That's what they came for. Hello, we are dropping. When you come down, just go to work, collect the other document. Dr. Momoni Olakunle Kwam. Please, let's celebrate them. Let's celebrate them. Dr. Adedeji Foluke Omawumi. Dr. Ojo Francis Obotosho. Please, let's keep celebrating them. Don't worry. Please, go ahead. Let's permit them, please. All right, thank you. Dr. Ojo, next. Dr. Olai Gbade Yusuf Olatunji. Hold on, sir. Hold on. Dr. Emmanuel Ugochukwu Eme. Next one. Let's see my hands. Dr. Alfred Olalekan Olatubosun. Applause, please. Applause, please. Let's celebrate them. Dr. Yewole Hannah Oluwatosi. Celebrate her, please. Celebrate her, please. Dr. Nduku Henrietta Ngozi. Wait, let us know first, then you join. Join quickly, join quickly. Dr. Leke Emmanuel Oshiemi. Thank you, sir. Dr. Iroje Ahigwe Elvis. It's still coming. Quickly join, hello lady. Thank you. This way, please get that there. Next. Dr. Adenike Abidemido. Dr. Peter will get the person Oka. The Okwa. Okay, sorry. Just begin like that.
Okay. Like that.
Then we go straight to fellow. Oluwatomini Olaposi. Please celebrate them, please. I'll do faith honor your day. Jodiya Morenikeji Oluwatoyin. Move closer, man. Move closer. Is that Jodiya, please? Hold on. Thank you. Thank you. Oyindamola